I was reciting the Quran during a funeral, and when we finished, the army attacked. The crowd dispersed. They told the children to leave. The deceased is alone now, they said. After the funeral, a plane attacked us and dropped 2 barrel bombs.
This is the Zaatari refugee camp in Jordan, a vast city refuge of over 80,000 people who have left behind homes destroyed by the war in Syria. The tents from 2011 gave way to caravans, and what began as a temporary settlement is now a city trapped in limbo. The bombings and military sieges are a thing of the past, but here begins a life of uncertainty and anguish. This is the Champs-Élysées, the main street of the camp in Zaatari. That's what the refugees call this street full of shops that gives a false sense of normality. The refugees want to go home, but Syria is still at war. And without prospects for the future, those with more resources set off on a dangerous route to Europe. A boat loaded with refugees arrives at the Greek island of Lesbos. This is the main entry point for Syrians arriving by boat from Turkey. Some boats sink and the refugees receive little assistance. The danger of the sea is only the first hurdle on their route to Europe. It's not uncommon for entire families to travel, even with babies. The refugees that arrive safely in Lesbos still have a long way to go. This is just the beginning. After arriving by sea, refugees cross the whole of Greece to reach the border with the former Yugoslav Republic of Macedonia. They are sometimes blocked there. At this transit point, Médecins Sans Frontières provides refugees with humanitarian assistance. From the former Yugoslav Republic of Macedonia, it's a hard journey by train, bus, and on foot. At times, the authorities force the refugees to walk from one border to another. Taxi drivers often take the opportunity to charge extortionate sums of money, but the determination to find a better future for their families helps people to keep going. This is the way from the Serbian border to the first registration point in the country, and so the journey continues. The border points are not prepared to receive refugees, especially if it rains or snows. The lack of political will to address the largest refugee crisis in Europe since the Second World War is especially evident here. This is the border between Serbia and Croatia. When they get here, the refugees have already spent days travelling. They have left behind the Aegean Sea, Greece, and the train journey through the former Yugoslav Republic of Macedonia. They are exhausted. A border closure has caused a build-up of refugees. Here, thousands of people are waiting for the Croatian police to open the fence. They have spent more than a day waiting in the rain. The situation is desperate, especially for the youngest and for those making the journey in wheelchairs. The war drove them out of their country, and now they find themselves in a Europe that closes its doors to them. Even in rich Western countries, it appears that the most basic rights of refugees are not upheld, and so the suffering continues, far from the war.